Yeah. Well, let's talk about different locations around the world. For example, Africa. Now, Africa's made up of many different countries. Tell us a bit about the different countries there and the scenarios that are currently going on right now, what your recommendation would be if we're going into Congo or Ghana or Nigeria or some other places, or some places where you've sent people recently.
Okay. Africa, we know it very well. There are 53 countries in Africa. Yep. And we worked in quite a few of them. Now, you get some very hostile areas such as Somalia, Somaliland. We did some work out there in Somaliland. Let's just leave it at that. But we did some work out that, and that was particularly hostile because my guys went out there looking after our principals.
Okay, so just a second. So if you're going into Somalia with your private jet, would you just leave it at the airport, or would you leave some of your own security people to guard the aeroplane?
Oh, it's a drop-off and the jet leaves the area.
Ah, okay.
The jet leaves the area, but then you've got the people on the ground.
Okay.
For example, Africa, you go to Kenya, and Kenya is quite workable.
Okay.
Whereas you go next door to Burundi, and Burundi is very lively. It's very boisterous.
Okay.
So it depends which country you're going to, and you need to do your research and how you're going to do it. Quite often, if you've got one principal flying in, you might want 2 or 3 security to look after your one principal, but then you might employ 12 local people from a local company to look after your packet of 3 or 4.
Yeah, so but how do you know that the local company is going to play your game and not the bad guy's game?
Okay, because we work with the local companies, so we know who they are now. We work with a fantastic company. Actually, I mentioned Kenya, and they are ex-all Royal Marine Special Boats and Squadron. So these guys are absolutely top dollar. We've worked with them before. So if we had to go to Burundi, we wouldn't go to Burundi. We'd get the boys in Kenya to get that and get whatever we wanted to Nairobi, and then work with those guys. These guys have got the local knowledge. They know the local criminal gangs. You need to rely on their knowledge. But yes, absolutely. How do you know these people are going to play your game and not their game? This is where you might want to employ a local company who you do trust to do your research on your behalf before you enter that country, to give you their risk assessment and their risk analysis.
Yeah. So going back to Somalia, what are the issues in Somalia?
Somaliland is quite well. Okay, Somaliland is the strip of land at the north end of Somalia.
Okay.
And Somaliland is only recognised by Somaliland and the UK at the moment. And they're toughening up the court system there and the judicial system, which is how we got involved, giving support to the legal people going from UK to help set up the legal system in Somaliland. The difficulties are it's lawless.
Oh.
It's absolutely lawless. Now, our guy went out there, and our advisor who went out there, he was 11 years Army, 14 years Ministry of Defence, Armed Police. He's worked on maritime. He's been there, seen it, done it. And the first thing when he landed is we got him 2 bodyguards who understood the local rooms to look after him.
Yeah,
that's how lively it is. Another thing about Somaliland is no one is quite sure who's in control. The plans in position, for example, our man went out there and he said, okay, what is the plan here if there is a terrorist attack or a bomb attack? The plan is everyone goes back to the hotel and congregates at the hotel. Now, that's actually not a very good plan, because if you're a terrorist and you want to take hostages, have a couple of explosions on the perimeters of the town, and then all the non-Somalians, all the expats who are working there, will all come together so you can kidnap them all at the same time.
Yeah, it's good.
So you've got to have better plans in position than that. So that was one of our tasks. Okay, actions to be taken on, just to damage control it and make sure people weren't getting kidnapped. It's a bit like if you want everyone outside a building, ring the fire alarm, and everyone will congregate outside the building for you. This is what happened in a few American schools earlier this year. This is how they get them outside. You've got to have other plans in position.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you wanted to do a massive shooting, you'd let the fire bell go off, everybody congregate in one room, and then, boom, shoot them all. Or blow them up.
Which is why you've got to have other drills, which I think the Americans call it the active shooter drill.
Yeah.
Schools in UK, we tend to have the lockdown drills. But this is a different drill. When you don't want everyone outside, you do silent lockdowns, whereby suddenly every member of staff's computer screen, mobile telephone just says lockdown, and the lockdown silently. So any intruders on the premises don't even know you're locking down, but you're controlling the damage immediately.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got the Somaliland, and the provisions in place were poor at best. So we just got to put things in position to make it safe. So again, if you've got a client flying there in a private jet, the first thing we would say is, well, you don't leave the private jet there.
Yeah.
Although inside the wire of an airport is probably the safest place in any country, you're still in a very hostile country. So you're better off for the cost flying it to a safe area and keeping your crew there as well.
Yeah, because that's the other issue actually I wanted to launch into. But keep telling us the story on sorry, and then we'll get into crew.
Yeah, I'm just saying with crew, if you've got them out the area and ready to deploy, if you need your crew and you know they're safe in a safe country, that's ideal. If you're going to be in a country for a few days, you don't really want your crew being prisoners in the hotel and at the risk of being kidnapped or something such as that. You want them in a safe area.
Yeah. Well, there's a colleague of mine. He was flying a private jet down in Africa, and his first officer got shot and killed during a layover. So they had to bring in another member of crew to fly the plane back.
That's right. So it's easier to fly to a safe haven within a couple of hours, and you know, when you're ready, bring them back in. So you know, it's an in, pick up, out. You want wheels on in a hostile country. You want your wheels on the ground as least a time as possible.
Yeah. Well, let's do any other countries in Africa people have to watch out for besides the ones we just mentioned.
Okay, I mean, Nigeria is a popular market. Everyone wants to do business in Nigeria. It's probably the third biggest market available. It's got about 187 million population, which is a massive market. You get a lot of the smaller countries that got 1.5, 2 million, 3 million population. This has got 187, so it's a massive market. But it's difficult to do business there, and it's not quite as lawless as Somaliland or Somalia or Burundi, but it is still boisterous, lively, call it whatever you will.
Yeah.
Now, again, we've been there before. We've taken people in. We will have 2 of our guys to look after one principal. But you need to employ the people on the ground as well, because if you're not employing people on the ground, they will become your enemy.
Yeah.
So you've got to share the love, I believe the term. You've got to share the love on the ground.
Yeah.
Spread the money about on the ground.
Yeah.
And you've got to know who you can deal with in that country. And again, in Nigeria, I would always say, if you can blister onto your host's security, please do so. They understand the local gangs, the criminals, and they know better than anyone else how to keep you safe, because they do this every day.
Yeah. I mean, one practice that I always use when flying in and out with a private jet in certain locations is to keep a lot of dollars in my pocket. So as soon as we land, hand the handling agents some cash as a tip, because you know they're going to. So hand it to them when you land, and then when you leave, and they'll just keep you safe. Next time you come in, they say, "Oh, this guy tipped me $100. I better look after him because he'll tip me again on the way out."
Absolutely, you've got to give them that there, and there's the same when I leave safely.
Yeah. This is for now, and we'll give you some more when we leave, and so they all know.
When I leave safely, and all my friends leave safely, you'll have the same again. Yeah. And this is what I say, because if you don't do that, then someone else will give them money for that information. Yeah,
exactly. So that's key. Okay, Bob, thank you very much for everything, and thank you everybody for listening and watching Biz Jet TV, and remember to subscribe. Share this video, like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.